Okay, welcome. Good to see you again. We're going to do lesson 41 in Algebra 1/2, Saxon Algebra 1/2, and this is the second edition again. And this lesson is going to be about reciprocals, okay? And we're going to talk about first, what is a reciprocal? The product of any number, and its reciprocal is the number 1. So how do we get a product? We multiply. So we can take any number and its opposite or its reciprocal times it should equal 1. Alright? We can make any whole number a fraction by putting a 1 underneath it. So if I say 8 times 1, I get 8. And 1 times 8 is 8. And 8 over 8 is equal to 1. Alright, this is find the reciprocal of 3/4. 3/4 and 4/3 are reciprocals because I can say 3 times 4 is 12, and 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 over 12, or 12 divided by 12, is equal to 1. So it's really just taking the fraction or the whole number, making a fraction out of it, and flip it upside down. Alright, we also have another section that we're going to talk about, and that is the multiplication rule. And this is just like the addition-subtraction rule for solving equations, and it means that both sides of an equation can be multiplied by the same number. And now this one has to say except 0, because when you multiply a number times 0, you don't get that number, you get 0. Alright? So you can multiply the same number except 0 without changing the solution to the equation. Alright, so look at this. It says solve 4x equals 12. Well, we know that 4 beside of the x with no sign in between means multiply. So to get rid of that 4, or isolate the x, we multiply by the reciprocal of 4, which is 1/4. And you see how these two things now come together in this one lesson. Alright, now we have to remember to multiply both sides so that we don't change the balance. Alright, so when you say 1/4 times 4, you get 1x, which is the same as x by itself. And 12 times 1/4 is 12 over 4, which is 3, the whole number 3. Alright, and then when we check, we can replace this x with this 3 and see if we get a true statement. We do. We've found the correct answer. Alright, here's another one. This says solve x divided by 3 equals 6. This is a division problem, but it is still a fraction, so we can find the reciprocal of x over 3, and we're going to look at x over 3 as 1x over 3, or 1/3 x, okay? So, x divided by 3, and I'm going to need the reciprocal of 1/3, which is 3 over 1, equals 6. I'm going to say times 3 over 1. And then you see how all this cross cancels out and gives us x is equal to 18. Alright, so we have 6 practice problems tonight. We're going to go ahead and work those. Okay, so here we have 5/11 x, or times x, equals 7. To solve this, we're going to need the reciprocal of 5/11, and that is 11 over 5 times 5 over 11. X equals 7. but we need to do the same thing over here, so we need the multiplication rule for equations. And I'm going to make this 7 into a fraction, make it a little easier. Alright, so with my cross-canceling, I know that I can cross-cancel all of those out to 1s, and I get x equals 7 times 11 is 77, and 1 times 5 is 5. 77 over 5, and we can divide 77 by 5, or you can just leave it as 77 over 5. Okay? In B, we're going to find the reciprocal of 5/3. Remember, the reciprocal is the number that, when multiplied together, would equal 1. 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 over 15 is 1. So we have 1x. But here we're going to have to do 3 over 5 here. And I'm going to make this a fraction. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 5 is 5. Alright, go on to C. Alright, the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3 over 2 times 2/3 x equals 1/4 times 3 over 2. And these will cancel each other out, leaving me x equals 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 2 is 8, 3/8. Okay, now to D. Alright, so here we have 3 times x equals 15. The reciprocal of 3 over 1 is 1 over 3 times 1 over 3. And I'll make that a whole fraction also. These cancel each other out, leaving me x. And I can cross cancel here also. This will go 1 time and 5 times. Those cancel each other out. So my answer is just simply 5. Alright, on to E. And we have x over 3 equals 5. X over 3, I said we could also write as 1 over 3x. So the reciprocal of that would be 3 over 1. So I'm going to multiply by 3 over 1 here. Make that a fraction. And all of this cancels out, leaving me x equals 5 times 3, which is 15. And then finally, 4x equals 1/3. Well, what is the reciprocal of 4? It is 1/4. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 1/4. Cross cancel. I get x equals 1 over 12. Alright, good job. I will see you next time for lesson 42.